Okay, so this is our boilerplate code. We'll stick this down in the description to stop you having to copy it, but basically we're just using an HStack to horizontally arrange a set of images and text, and then using a horizontal scroll view to manage the scrolling operation. So the first thing we're going to do on the image is just set its mode to scale to fill, and this will just scale the image to fill its parent. And then if we go down, and we can set an explicit frame as well. So the width will be the screen width, so you have screen.main.bounds.width, and then we'll take 20 away from that as well. And then the height, we'll just give it an explicit height of 450, like that. And then we want rounded corners in the image, so to do that we're just going to set the clip shape to rounded rectangle, and the corner radius will be 20. And clip shape basically just lets you clip an image to fit a certain shape, and you can think of it like cutting an image to put it in a frame. In our case, as I said, we just wanted rounded corners, but you can have like circles, capsules, you know, all sorts. Now we want the image to fit the width of the screen, because you might notice we've got more than one image on the screen at the same time. So to do that, we can just go down and set our container relative frame. So container relative frame, and set that to horizontal. And container relative frame basically just searches up the view hierarchy for the nearest container that fits within a list of containers that Apple have defined. Containers are things like the tab in a tab bar, or like a scroll view, things like that. And once it has the nearest container, it basically allows us to resize the view based off of that container. So in our case, it's allowing us to stretch this image to fit the width of the scroll view. So then if we go down, and we can set the transition, scroll transition, and we want it to be animated, and the axis as horizontal. And then in here we get the content and the phase. And then here this allows us to set an animation as the user scrolls. So here we can just set like content.scale effect, for example. Phase.identity tells us when the image is fully on screen. So here we're saying when the image is fully on screen, we want its scale set to 1. When it's not, we want it set to 0.8, so it'll basically like, it kind of almost shrinks and then grows. You can see it shrink and then grow when it reaches the full width of the screen. And then we can maybe just add another animation in here as well, so we just bump this down to a new line, and we can maybe just add like a little opacity animation. And same thing, we can check phase.asIdentity, and then if it is, we want it set to 1.0, and if it's not, let's set it to 0.6. And you'll see the images kind of fade and resize in and out as we move them around. And if we wanted an animation in the text as well, we can just copy this same scroll transition block and then just paste it down here. And say we just wanted an opacity animation on the text, we can do it like that. And I'll just make it a bit more pronounced on the text, just to make it a bit clearer. So you can see that the text sort of fades in as we scroll between the animals. And you might notice as well, we've not got the paging effect, it's still scrolling between the images. And so to do that, all we need to do is go down underneath our scroll indicator modifier, and then set the scroll target behavior as .paging. So this modifier was released with iOS 17 and lets us enable paging on the scroll view in a really simple way. After we've done this, it's now paging as expected, and the animation is looking really good.